Hi, it's Gordo from Gordo's Games, and we are back today, and we're going to be going through a tutorial for Act 1 of Shadow of War. This is an Assassin's Creed kind of take on a Lord of the Rings game combined together. You're playing as a character called Talion. It's the second installment of the games from Shadow of Mordor, and overall a very good game. So we are just going to get into this now. I will try and explain to this as much as possible as to what we're doing and why the reasons why we're doing it, but this is based on a tutorial for the speedrun of the game. So, welcome in. If you do like the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you know when this content is live for you, and all in all, let's get into it. Alright folks, let's go. So, first things first, you can only have one save. So we'll just delete that I spent 2 hours on, it's fine. We've done that many times, 2 hours, that's nothing. It's pocket change. Now there's no difference in difficulty, so just run on easy. There is no point giving yourself a hard time for no reason.
I will find you.
2 seconds just while I sort this audio out, and we will... Alright. So what we're going to do here is just try and make this as minimal jumps as possible and just sprint off the side here. At this point we have infinite sprint, so we can just go ahead and do this. Now with Act 1, Act 1 it's an any percent run, so it's not glitchless or anything like that, so you can use some tools that will make the most of, which I'll talk through later as we do it. If you're speedrunning, I'm not going to teach suck eggs. Just skip cutscenes. If you have the capacity to skip a cutscene, just do it.
We need to do something. Taking out the captain should buy the Gondorians some time.
Whilst we're doing this, I've got the chat entertaining me with a variety of music here. As I'm gonna say, Emmy, interesting choice. Alright, so when you hop down here, and first thing is we're basically going through a tutorial at this point here. So we're gonna go through and get the information from this guy to go ahead and find out some details on a captain. So no changes to preferences on control types overall. If you're on PC, so with the sprint, I believe for PC players, and I can't say 100% because I am on controller, using the scroll wheel for the sprint is what's recommended. I can get more clarification and leave it in the comments on the video itself, but there's no real controller changes you need to make overall that make it any more comfortable for you. So what we do here is basic tutorial parts here is we're gonna now first bit of advice, be better with a bow than I am right now. Now, because we're taking it slow, we're going to kind of let things fill back up. Personally, I run it on controller anyways myself. There we go. So, nothing I'd say. So, let me, before we go any further, let me just talk you through the part we can make use of here. So, there is the ability to sprint here, and as you can see, the mic goes down as I sprint. That's your normal sprint. But if you do this, so let's hit sprint, then start again, you'll see it goes down drastically slower. This is what's referred to as the infinite sprint glitch. So you can infinitely just keep sprinting. All you need to do is when you stop is just do a complete stop and then hit dash, well, run, and then hold the direction again. So for the controller, for me, it is doing the run is hold A and then click the left stick in and just hold it forward. And my mic will not go down. I can just keep on running and running and running. And this will allow me to get through places I'd say a lot quicker. Technically, if you don't do this method, you are technically faster, but your mic will run out, so you can't sprint for longer distances, if that makes sense. So overall, this method is faster. What we're going to do here is we're going to grab these arrows and we're going to shoot this as part of the whole thing, and then we're going to keep them running through. If you have any questions about anything that I have missed or you want to ask throughout the video, feel free to leave those in the comments, just so I have an idea. This first part is a lot of tutorial based things. It's going to tell you what we're doing here. So we're going to search for the captain. He is dazed by stealth. Now there's two different routes you can take here. One is just go right first of all, follow it around and then turn left. I tend to opt for this one, which is go straight on. And this is more personal preference than anything. I've not proven if it's quicker or slower to do this. It's just more of a case of I'm more used to this. So I'd say just find out what works for you and go from there. But we're going to go ahead and hit this guy. He's dazed, perfect. And he's dead. Now, when you are fighting a captain, if you can make them dazed before you even get there, we've actually managed to skip her things, which is like priceless. As I said, that's the first time I've done that. When you are fighting captains, you want to kind of, when you approach them, you want to try and stun them or daze them or some manner before you even get through to the fight. The reason being, don't do that either. Don't run at walls. Okay, that's not advisable. Is they talk crap. The most honest way possible. They have just some long-winded. Okay, let's just. Alan, how you doing? They have just some very long speech text that go with them, and it's really pointless to listen to. But realistically, what we're going to be doing here is you want to be using the bow as much as we can, and obviously taking out these enemies. Now we can't get too far ahead of these when we're doing the run, so we have to just kind of take our time a little bit, which is fine because we actually ran out of might, so that works in nothing. Thank you for the alert there, Quirky. It draws ahead of us. That's kind of sad. These were really slow. But again, we're going to move along. First one to take care of is the one up here. Shoot a few more of these. And then just kind of hack a few down as we go. And once we've hit a few of them, it will tell us to carry on to the next area. And we want to try and just keep ahead of them as much as possible. Without getting too far away. Because if you do get too far away, it will turn around and say you're too far away, leaving the mission area, and you will fail the mission and you will have to restart again, which will just lose you time overall. So let's just show you that, for instance. So if we run up here, you'll see it just too far away, but it's when it gets to this part here, leave mission area. That's when we need to take a little step to break and just kind of take it in a moment. As long as we're in front of Vigil, they will move slightly quicker. I don't need to do this, but I'm going to, just because it's an extra kill right now. And then we're going to try and pick up a few of these as we go. And then we're just going to hit a few of them, like we did last time, up until it prompts us to say that we can move on to the next area. There we go. Now with this one, we shouldn't be a point whereas we can actually cancel out the mission, because we're going to run up here, then run up the stairs. Okay. If we did it normally, we run up here, run up the stairs, and we're always just within range, whereas this will never be able to prompt. So that's where we've actually left the mission area. So keep that in mind. And now we've got access to the glaive. Now there is a trick with the glaive here. If we go into an aim straight after with the glaive, it actually reloads the glaive quicker. Now this is not a glitch, this is actually a game mechanic, but it just allows us to abuse that glaive a little bit quicker. So if you are surrounded by enemies, it's a good way to clear them out. It's something to keep in mind for later. And as you can see, it just makes that whole interaction a lot quicker, just because. And camera focus. Alright, stay with me here. Thank you. Again, cutscene skip. Cutscenes are bad. Cutscenes are the arch enemy of runners. We'll go through some normal prompts here. So it'll ask us to pick up this ability here, which is fine. We always like getting the elven agility.
The city is weak and it will not hold for much longer.
We'll go through a few speeches of that about how Sauron's eye is looking over us, and how Celebrimbor says they used to belong to him because he's just as bad.
Those were my towers once. Now Sauron's corruption spreads beyond the borders of Mordor. He mocks me.
They give him sight.
At the time of recording this, I just reminded myself that I do need to watch the rest of Ring of Power, for sure. So we'll go through some of these prompts here, just as we would. Just follow the on-screen things. You don't need to do anything in particular. It's that you just cancel out them as quick as you can, and then we carry on. Now, when we're going across here, you can you can see there is this little gap down here. Normally, I'd say it doesn't matter what you're doing, because we're trying to optimize speed as much as possible, we want to make sure we go as close to this pillar down here or to this catapult as we can before making the jump across, because we want to kind of shorten the distance for us to be involved with Thinger. So if we do this, it eliminates us having to climb back up on the wall there, and does save us time overall. So a big part of this is just making sure that you're making the most optimal movements in places. The sprints and everything is pretty generic, but also can be a case of placement where your jumps are taking place. So we're going to purify this, and then we need to find one place, which is going to be the next mission we're going to effectively. So we'll spin this all the way around, and then it's just down there. Now we want to cancel out of it, then turn around thingy, and then jump off here. And then once we've done that, hop back down again, and then progress on to the next one. Making use as we can the infinite sprint glitch, just to make sure we don't run out of any might, and we get there in time. And then we'll start the next mission. So a lot of these early missions are more or less like tutorials more than anything. They'll give you the direction as to what you need to do in that. It's more so as you later get into it, you'll have things like the siege missions that to go through, which is kind of differs up, and you need to kind of make the most of it. There are going to be some glitches we try and use as we go, but I will cover them as we go along. So we'll do this, and then we're going to basically look to use the glaive, because when I fill up our Elven Might, and then we want to go to Elven Rage, and we want to just go ham with the bow. Get all those things here. Now there are gems, which you'll go through in tutorial in a second, but we can use more or so in the game. They're not as relevant to us in the Act 1 run. They can be, just trying to add to the damage we do. So, but that's if we get the gem for it. So technically red gems, if equipped to a weapon, will give you more damage. White gems, if you want to equip them to your armor, because they give you more XP, which is more relevant if you go through the full games run rather than the Act 1. You typically get enough kind of XP as you go along. Now the reason I'm doing this here is because we do come across a captain later, who is riding the Caragor. If you haven't interacted with a certain enemy type already, it will do this animation here. So if you're doing that during that captain's interaction, it will kind of slow you down or stop you from being able to get to the point where you can take them out without them noticing you. So you can't do your stealth attack basically. So we do this now to get it out of the way, and this is now going to tell us about the gem tutorial as I just mentioned. So we'll unlock that. I see weapons increase chance to drop killed by this weapon drop gold. We don't particularly care about that. If anything, we want damage on this or more armor, so that's fine. And then you have the capacity to use to change skins. Now there is called a skin warp in this one. If you haven't unlocked the nearest fast travel point in that, you can change the skin you're in, and it will take you back to the nearest one available, even if you haven't unlocked it. It's called skin warping in this, but we don't have to use it very much in the Act 1 run. The times I have tried to use it, it's taken me to the wrong one, so I haven't found it necessary. But now we've done that, we'll go here and we're going to go ahead and fast travel to this one we went to earlier on. And then once we've done this, we want to try and run, and we want to make sure we try and jump and avoid dropping down as best we can, because that is just effectively time loss because we'll just be clambering to get back up overall. And then I'm going to hop down here, we're going to go to the next mission, and we'll try and progress through it as quick as you can. Alright, go into the next mission now. So again, we want to rush through here as quick as possible, so keep to the left and just sprint as fast as you can, because we need to get there towards the bulk of enemies before they all get away from this. So we'll aim here, slow down time, hit that, hit that. That should be everybody. Yeah, perfect. Once you've killed all those enemies that are there, it will do this little cutscene here. So if you get to that explosive as quick as possible when they're all near it, it will prompt it a little bit quicker. Once we've done that, we're not going to follow her. We're going to go here. We're going to go down this way. I'm just going to jump off here. And what's going to happen, it's going to go through the cutscene because we've seen the siege monster. So it's going to prompt it and it's going to put us up here. So as long as you see the siege monster, it will take you where you need to go to overall. And then once we're here, basically the quickest route, the most safe route is here. To go onto this one, and then we go ahead, do that, and then we're going to dominate this world, which means we're going to take control of it. And once we've done that, we need to destroy some enemies and another siege monster that comes up. So we're just going to ping one there, ping one there. Should be enough. No. Once you get to 20, it will then prompt you to go to the siege monsters coming up. So you want to try and do that in the most minimal shots as possible. So 1, 2, and then we want to get as many other things as we can, but it looks like we've missed half of them. And we want to try and do this as minimal shots as possible. Fortunately, we didn't get the best look there because they'd already gone past where we need to go to. So once we've done that, hop down here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to activate Elven Rage. Now, using the Infinite Sprint glitch will give us exactly what this does anyway, which is just the ability to infinitely sprint. But, you know, just for the sake of it, we can use it.
I was thinking of Gordo.
No worries at all, Falafel. Thank you for stopping as always, much appreciated. So we will take a shot here, here, and then we'll hop across. Up we go, and then we'll dominate again. And with this, we're going to have 8 enemies to take out 2 siege beasts. We want to just try to find the most optimal ways to do so. It can vary. So we've got that on there.
We must secure the Palantir.
Not the best placing of the enemies this time around, but it's fine. Oh wow, we won off. Okay. But as you can see, you want to try and get the biggest cluster of enemies you can in places. If you see them, try and move it there as quick as possible. I can't say how much easier it is on PC because I don't play on PC. I'm using a controller, but you might get to the point where you have a bit more mobility when aiming. But that is our mission done. So I will attach in the comments in the description as well the link for this the splits to go with this if you are interested in the speedrun in this. But once we've done this, there are 2 things we need to do here. And I'm going to take this step by step to do it. We want to go to character. We want execution unlocked. and we want to unlock detonate. What detonate is going to do is going to allow us to aim into a fire pit and then basically teleport into it, to shadow strike it, to explode it. But we're going to use it as a sort of movement technique to try and help us skip certain areas a little bit more so. We'll hit quests here, and we're going to do knife the dart, hit fast travel, which will take us to the region we need to go to. Not every mission will have fast travel, but it tends to be a case if they're in a different region, you can fast travel to the boundary in that region. Otherwise, we check if there's a fast travel point nearby to it, and then we go to that. Otherwise, we just run. So we're going to see a not a Caragor here, a Ghoul. What's it called again? Grogs, that's it. They don't really come into our kind of gameplay. That animation always happens, so it's one of those. You probably could find a way to avoid it, but it's neither here nor there. Now we're going to purify this one because there's no harm having another fast travel point available to us at any stage. We'll cancel out this. We will turn around. You see the fire pit there. Hit that. We'll teleport straight into it. Just saves us a little bit extra time over there, rather than just having to run down to it. We'll climb up here. We're going to try and avoid these things as much as possible because they will trip us over if we walk past them or run into them. And then we want to go to the next mission. Now with this mission here, we've got this O-log in front of us. It's quite chunky. What we're going to do is roll back here a little bit. We're going to shoot this. We're going to try and shoot this, and then we're just going to hit him. And that should give us enough just to make sure he's chunked down. And then Golem's going to turn up to tell us where to go next. And again, this comes down to learning the route. So once you do this one or twice, you'll learn where you need to go. Just to kind of stay in front of him. Unfortunately got no might, so I'm going to wait for the might to come back. There we go. That's all I need, a little bit. And then we kind of use this path here just to get us where we need to go to. You'll notice it doesn't come up as much with the whole concept of you're getting too far away on him. It's not particularly cared about as long as you're going the right way. And as long as he's prompted to go the right way. In this next section, you'll see parts where if you rush too far ahead, he won't have followed along with you because he'll be waiting for prompts like in the conversation and things like that to say that you are going that way.
You know where to find him?
So again, when I shoot that, and then we want to make our way around to the first assassin's victim.
Earlier you said you recognized the assassin's curse. Only a Morgul blade could have caused.
Now we were a bit slow in getting there because we did run out of might there, so which is fine. So we should be a case of it's quite easy to prompt Golem here to say let's go. There we go. If you hop over these things here, you can just then press A to get a little speed boost overall. Rather than hitting out the left stick in to use the elven boost. You want to get this next one here.
Wounds from a Morgul blade, just like the last one. This kill happened more recently than
And hop down. Want to make sure that we go back to Golem here, because if we don't, and we don't get that little line there, he won't start moving in a second, which is what it should do. And we want to make sure we go towards here. If we just run straight towards here before going back to him, it will basically say that he will register him as just going to that point and waiting at that point. He won't actually move along, and it'll tell you it's leaving the mission area. But once we get here, we'll use Elven Rage just to kind of chop at these enemies here. And then once we've done that, we just move along. Now, small disclaimer, there is an error in this run which I'm not completely not completely comfortable with. It's like I know the concept to it, and I will try and demonstrate as best I can. Otherwise, I'll talk you through how it's supposed to look if I'm able to do it. But in this, we're going to go ahead and follow the instructions, mark the enemy, and carry on. So we hop across here.
The war chief is useless. I would be surprised if the Dark Lord himself had dudes.
Okay. Okay. Let me talk you how that should have went. So the stealth ran out there because his comrade saw me, which was a little bit annoying. It is still dazed, which is annoying because he's now no longer dazed. And of course you're enraged by everything. So with interaction there, what should have happened is we go ahead, we hit the Morgul flies, which then dazes him slightly. We go ahead, use the stealth attack, and then we just either hit him with B to keep stunning him repeatedly, or just keep slashing the sword until he dies. That unfortunately did not take place, and that is sometimes when the RNG comes into it, when things just go awry. But we're going to just carry on to the next mission. One of the biggest capacity to make sure the game is run through as quick as possible is just making sure you know your routes. If you don't have an idea of what your route is, or the route overall that you need to be taking, watch particular missions, then it will make it a lot more difficult for you. Because there's a lot of additional side quests in this that kind of get thrown into the mix, where you can potentially get caught up thinking you have to do them. But I will, I will include that with the description itself. This can happen when you get interrupted by a senior captain. It's completely random. It's not a guaranteed say he's here. I've never had one here, to be fair, for a captain. But we're going to ignore him because we don't care about his life choices. He can try and kill us as much as he wants, but so we'll just go up here. We batted some bad movement there. Go down here, and then we want to hop off, and it's just here. So movement is a big part of this. Getting used to it, more comfortable with it, will make things a lot easier on the run itself. Apparently Baranor is a very special individual, so we can't actually skip his cutscenes. He's just that important.
But we're hunting one in particular. The last bodyguard of the war chief leading the siege.
Right, now we'll follow the instructions here. Do that. Yeah. And then we're going to just mosey along. So Baranor needs to move out of the way. It's going to prompt you to do an instruction to kill somebody with the follower, which we'll do. And then we're going to go in here and just find some tracks. So depending if you're running this glitchless, if you're in Act 1, like I said, you want to try and, if you want to run in glitchless and you don't want to use the infinite sprint glitch, or try and avoid doing so, it is allowed in the glitchless run because it is that easy to perform. Just find something to hop over. It will prompt you, then press the A, which will give you then effectively sprint. But we want to get here, we're going to do that. And we want to daze him as much as we can. If you can, just put up a few arrows in him. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get it. We got knocked over by that.
Timing! I was itching to kill something.
There we go. We knew he'd be one shot. Let me just change my battery saver whilst we do this. Grab that. And we'll crack up. Also, if you do speedrun with a controller that's not got a wire to it, just be prepared to change your batteries like something out of a Formula 1 pit stop.
I feel sorry for the war chief we're hunting. He'll be lonely without his bodyguards.
He'll join them soon enough.
There's that mission done. As you can see, the idea is to try and keep them out of their animation of talking as much as possible when you're trying to kill them, because of the fact they do just talk absolute waffles. So once we've done that, we want our next quest, which is going to be here. Is local to us, so we're just going to run towards it.
Is just one of many, and they will continue their attacks on
Then our path is clear.
So we'll make our way down there. Making my way downtown, walking fast. Sorry, I won't do that again. I probably will, but you can judge me next time. Again, using as much movement speed as we can. Hop over these if we can. If not, just use the sprint because it's any percent, so we're allowed to use it, and it will just make it so that at least we have constant sprint. And we're on to the next mission here, which we're going to be helping out Baronor again.
You put too much faith in the spider.
Lives can be
So we want to just sprint around to Baronor as quick as possible here, because we're going to go through a little conversation with him. Whether you want to use the rocks to try and jump over, or whether or not you want to just use the effects of the sprint glitch, that's completely down to you. Preference is wherever.
This war chief you're after. He's not going to be taken
But in this one here, we're going to be picking off archers in a particular manner to try and speed things up as much as possible, because there's some that are in the more obscure places which make it more long-winded than it needs to be. The very starting point is pretty simple. We're going to go straight at this one and just take out this one here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit that, and that which is going to bring in a growl, which should take out some enemies. Hopefully one of the things we're looking for. We're going to get rid of this one.
usually work alone. I hope the aim of these Gondorian archers is true. Otherwise, we'll be
Okay,
dodging
that was not
friendly
what we
arrows.
wanted. We did not want to hop on the arrows there, which means I'm going to have to grab some more arrows at some point. Get rid of that one.
Elven archer would be worth 3 Gondorian archers.
Really? Only 3? Never underestimate men fighting to protect their home.
Let's pick up some more arrows. Not get completely scuffed in that, and then we'll take out this one here because the other one's taking out the one on the ground there, because there is usually one on the hut there and there's one on the far side, but we hit them with the barrel and then that's it. So we're going to go back up here. So the reason we get the Graug there is because he can try and potentially take out the guy in the barrel itself. Not in the barrel, in the hut, not in the barrel. And then the ones over the far side, we shoot the barrels to try to explode them, if we can. Now with this one here, there's 2 barrels we're going to ignite by shooting. He should have a fear of pin or a soft head. He's not using arrow proof, so that's what we use to try and take him down. but we want to try and not jump too close to him and then do what we need to do. So we do that, and then okay, he's down already. Sadly, we didn't get a decent enough stun on him.
The blood of man swine will flow into my belly today, and I'll drink yours first. The harder you fight, the worse it's gonna be for you when we beat you.
Okay, that might be a little bit bugged, but we're gonna do this. I'm gonna try and avoid being hit by him. And he's dead. Or any of those, somebody's gonna die. We would have liked to grab the chest piece there, but it's too far away. If it's not right next to us, we don't care enough to go back and fetch it, because that's just time loss for the time loss sake. We will learn the next quest here, which is going to be Traitor's Gate. Now this is a mission particularly which can be a problem in places. And the reason for that is because of the way we have to go about the mission itself. So I'm killing as many enemies here to try and get my Elven Fury up enough so that I can just go ahead and do what I need to do later. Unfortunately, there's a captain there, just wants to say hi. So we'll kind of move along now.
I mean, if you want to die, this is the place you die.
I mean, he's pissed, so we'll leave him be. Our Elven Fury is near enough where it needs to be. We'll start the mission. Because when we're doing this mission here, we're going to try and kill some archers beforehand, which should give us the rest of the Elven Fury that we need. And then we're going to fight the captain, who we need to get down to breaking point so we can dominate. So first things first with this one, we are up here, it's going to prompt us about this eggs. We'll do this, shoot it, and then want to teleport here. Now, what normally happens is it will give you the animation about spiders crawling towards it. Doing this allows you to skip that. We need some might back here because we want to just give him a quick shot in the back. The reason for that is because we don't want him to, because what he normally does, he just sits there and, well, walks along and talks to everybody in front of him. We don't want him to do that. We want him just to kind of move on and go about his day and go straight to the main guy. But we want to keep ahead of him as well. Which is what we're trying to do here. Love those games. I'm a lot collector. Welcome in, Jambo God. Welcome in. How are we doing, sir? First time at Gordo's games, so it's nice to see you here. Hope you enjoy the content. And it was, the only thing sad to me was hearing about the fact that Monolith closing, so that the online stuff was okay, perfect. But yeah, no, these great games overall. So We haven't managed to kill all the archers here, so it's going to be a bit 50-50 where we're doing just chilling, doing online forts, taking some orcs and creating a nice to hear. Well, welcome to Gordo's Games. We do a lot of this ourselves, so feel free to stick around, hit follow, and check out more content. Have I killed enough here? But what we're technically up to do here is we'll move from easy to brutal. Because brutal you do more damage, there's a lot more risk to you dying, but we'll see.
I suppose you're here because of the little turncoat I have in Minas Ethel.
I'm here just because of the vibes check. Hey, I'm here for you. Okay, so we have that now, so let's go to options. Generally we want to have all those archers killed before we start this. I'll go to brutal, apply settings, and then come off of it. And then what we do, if it wants to work, it didn't want to work. Why did it not want to work? Okay, cool. Okay. Let's get these arrows here because we need to take care of this Caragor. Same goes for this one. Not particularly a fan of you Caragors turning up. They are a chance to turn up, they don't always. If we can do things quick enough, that's the case where they don't show up. Alright. And then it's just a case of remembering to make sure we change back from brutal to easy later, because I've done that before where I've left it. But generally speaking, when you go into Elven Fury there, when you hit, you should be holding X to hit execute on them, which then should do damage to them. You just repeatedly keep doing that as much as you can whilst in Elven Fury, and then, you know, if you haven't killed them by that point, you just do the rest of the damage in the fight itself. But whilst you're doing the brutal, you do more damage. But there is a chance that you could die. You only have one last stand, so it's worth keeping in mind that. And that is the Traitor's Mission. That is probably one of the more annoying missions and can create some of the problems for us, but we're going to be using at some point. Let me just do this. We want to unlock Caragor Mount here. The reason we want to unlock this is because we're going to be using something called the Caragor Dunk in areas to try and kill enemies as quick as possible. Just make sure we go through these. Now typically you want to have your intervals, and this is personal preference. When you are sorting out your gear, give yourself kind of points or checkpoints to say that when you want to go ahead and check those overall, if that makes sense. Like some people do it every 4 levels, some people just do it when they get to a certain mission. That is something you'll have to kind of create for yourself, your own rhythm of how you do things. So do that to get extra armor, and then we're going to be going to the arena, which I believe is, there we go. Okay, so this is where we can actually make use of skin warping.
Yes, he will try to draw us out.
Ignore me messing up. So if we go to this menu here, whilst we're on this menu, we can hit change skin. Now if we go ahead, change skin, and then come out the menu, it's going to take us to the closest. I'm on Xbox Series X. it will take us to the closest fast travel point. The reason we used it there is because nice. It allows us basically to get out of the combat. So regardless whether you're in combat or not, if you use the skin warping, it will remove you from combat, and then you can do all your fast travel points and things like that. Because we had an enemy there, it would just take more time just to run away and do all that kind of stuff, whereas we might as well just run off and do our thing. And then we want to go to, like I was trying to go to originally, the point just here. Jambo, God. He used to know a guy called Jambo. He used to play Digimon. But welcome in, Jambo. Thanks for hopping in the chat itself. As I said, if you do enjoy content like this, at the moment we're currently recording a video for YouTube in regards to the speedrun of Act 1 of Shadow of War. So feel free to follow if you want to see more. And kick back and chill with the vibes, and you do your thing with orcs as well. So we're going to the arena now. Now, with a Caragor Dunk, there's two criteria you can't use it for. One is Ologs. The other is an enemy that has Beast Proof. But I'm going to try and explain the Caragor Dunk as best I can as I go through it. So let's get this guy first of all, because he is an Olog and we don't want to deal with him. I can certainly try to, yeah. Feel free to somebody link the Discord in the chat. Feel free to come to Discord and just DM me on Discord if you want. Thank you, XL. I'm going to take this guy down as quick as possible. And then shortly we're going to have one of the most favourable scenes in this Act 1, which is our Gladiator phase. So, obviously for those who haven't watched Gladiator, Russell Crowe, Gladiator, no worries at all, just drop me a message on that. By all means. Okay, so we'll get that. And then it's time for the Gladiators moment. BD energy, big dick energy, folks. That's what we're all about here.
I am still waiting.
Talion Giga Chad. Okay, here's an enemy. He's got a shield and that, so I'm slightly concerned he might have the one that I don't want him to have. So that's not what we want. So we need to break them.
Half the crowd will be in here tearing your corpse to shreds. I'll try to snip the best bits off you as quick as I can.
That sounds fantastic. Can you come back in a second? I'm a little bit busy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Mate, can you... Don't you love it when you try and demonstrate something and then it goes completely awry? Because... Okay, so now we're on a Caragor. Let's go ahead and demonstrate the Caragor dunk. First thing we need to do is we need to gain all of our mites. Once you have might, the reason we took execute earlier, well, besides we like the move execute, is because we're going to do this. We're going to miss him completely, and we'll have to reset our might all over again. Fantastic. So knocking people down builds up your might as well, which is great. I don't think he actually gets knocked down. So, which leads me to think... Oh no, he can. There we go. So when you knock him down, you straight away hit execute. You can only do this when you got might, because obviously you can only use execute when you've got full might. But it's usually in the animation when it's being knocked down, you will instantly kill any captain as long as they don't have beast proof, and as long as they're not O-logs. So it makes the interaction of killing those captains so much quicker. Alright, so we'll hit him to get back up, and then we're going to hit him again, and then we'll hit execute. Beautiful as that. That is effectively the Caragordon in its essence. I did not name it. I learnt it from Hayes Rukon, who was also, an avid PC player, PC runner along with Kaiser from the Shadow War things. So yeah, they did all majority of the work here. I'm just using what I know and applying it where I can. So do that here, bow him down, chop him up. Straightforward as that. Caragordon is, I want to say, one of the easiest ones to do in this, but bar the infinite sprint glitch, and it just makes captains chump food.
And your champion has upheld his for fighting this pitiful enemy. The Dark Lord promised mercy. Gaze now.
Well, that's wild. I didn't know you can kill them like that with a Caragor. Yes. So, myself, I'm a speedrunner. It's what I tend to do most of the time. I do full game playthroughs, and I do love this game, and I play it normally. I had like 30 hours on it. Obviously, you can only have one save, so that 30-hour save's now gone because I've repeatedly run this game. But there are so many things you can do in this game. It's crazy. There's another glitch called Hire by Email. I'm still yet to get to work properly for me. Whereas you can effectively, as long as you have one thing unlocked and it's your bodyguard, you can technically get just like hire any orc without actually having to go ahead and dominate them. So we're going to make our way through here, go to our next mission. Yeah, that one's great. See, for me, it doesn't work. It doesn't always work 100% of the time. I think I've managed to pull it off once. I can't do it consistently, which is annoying. It'll be near each other on the yeah. So basically, you have to do it. They have to be near each other on the on menu, and you have to move it so slowly that you don't see the reticle underneath, the blue reticle. And then you want to hit in like the button to command your bodyguard as such. And for anybody running this game in the speedrun capacity, don't ever do that. Like that was just bad on every sense of level. Like the Caragor was just being dumb at that point, and sometimes they can be a bit gimmicky. So we will just go back up here, run it across like we should do, and we should be closing in on the next few missions, or the last few missions, should I say? We're into Before the Dawn. Yeah. 2 missions left, I'd say, for Act 1. So this one here, we're going to make use of this mechanic to clear these out and make it quicker. This is, like I said, it's our kind of movement tech as we go through the early parts of the game, because it generally does a good part in doing so. And again.
Ourselves dead. Come, we must escape.
Kill these. We're gonna have to kill the guards anyway around this camp anyway, so.
Many thanks. Thank you, Ranger.
Logs too. Then he is no man.
So we'll clear these out as much as we can. Miss a shot because we're that good. Yeah, let's just throw him over there because we clearly meant to do that. And then it should be the last one here. Hopefully she kills him because Idril is the most wasted character in this one.
The general to the war chief's tent.
Head back to Munisito. The ranger and I will find the general.
Alright, just one left. That wasn't too bad.
We need to clear the camp before we...
Now we've done that.
Quickly then.
Okay, apparently we didn't get everybody.
We don't know what we'll find, Idril. Prepare yourself.
There we go. Now that's everybody. Excella, you streaming this evening?
Quickly, before more arrive.
Just out of curiosity.
Quickly.
Nice. What time are you kicking off? So we want to go here and we want to clear out the bridge guard, so we're going to do this in 2 spots, effectively. So one here and then one just here. And that should clear out the majority of the people we need to clear out. And then we just run. And then that is that. Folks, if you haven't already stopped by and said hello to the lovely Excel, he is a speedrunner like myself. He does Final Fantasies, he does Resident Evils. He has just picked up Shadow of War, so who knows? Maybe he'll join me on that front a little bit. But feel free to go ahead and check him out there. That is that mission done, and we are on to the final mission. The beauty of this one here is, as one of my viewers told me at one point, is it's right near the boundary. So make sure you use the fast travel for it.
The Palantir is here. The war is here. We must weaken Sauron.
And possibly one of the best scenes for it is because we will be going through the fight with the Wraiths, and we all love the whole fight between Wraiths and all that kind of stuff because, you know, Lord of the Rings is sick. Let's just be real. Alright, so we're going to be using the technique again where we're going to be going to aim, coming out of it, which will speed up the reload time. So far we are butchering that. There we go. Watch out for that fire. And just keep mowing these down until the time runs down. There's not much else to say about that. You are just literally burning down the time at this point. Maybe avoid dying, but trust me, this happens to be more than enough. I've still got the world record in this game for this run and still had deaths attached to it, so it's no big at that stage. Alright, so we're going to have a captain turn up here now, which we need to get rid of. Once we've got rid of the captain, we should be able to go into the next big fight, which will be the Wraiths, and then short run, and then that is going to be Act 1, basically finito. Alright, that's not the most fantastic news, but we'll take it, it's fine. We can dodge. Stupid Drake. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's him dead. Okay, thank you. I mean, you got set on fire, but the ironic thing is the Drake doesn't always turn up. Now, when we go into this, we want to use Elven Fury. I want to do as much damage to these as possible and just kind of go from there. We can also use the brutal technique here as well, because technically in brutal we do more damage. Again, we take the risk that it might hurt us a little bit more, but at the same token we can speed it up. Because our might also fills up quicker as well, which can make a big difference. That's one down. But yeah, shifting over to brutal will put us at the risk where we're taking more damage, but also give us the point whereas we are dealing more damage, and that's the offset that we're going to take here. Another one bites the dust. Dum, dum, dum.
The Witch King demands your service.
Try and keep these at bay as much as possible. Use the execute there, and then move on to this last one. One thing to try and avoid here is if they get to stairs or a wall, if they're blocked in near a wall or anything, they seem to be a bit more weird where they keep trying to grab you. So try to avoid that as much as possible. That's that mission done, and this is the last part of Act 1. It is literally just a little run. once you've done this run, Act 1 is officially done. So we see LOTR here. We are going to do one sprint. We're going to keep making sure we're staying ahead of her. Doesn't matter if we get too far away from her, as long as we get to the destination we're going to. So it's not one of those where escort missions. It is just run and get to the end point, basically. So try to avoid them as much as you can because you trip over them, but we want to go down this way, through here, avoid the spiders as well, and that is effectively the end of Act 1. You've done everything from start to finish into the end of Act 1. You will go into the next area now where you'll start learning about domination, things like that for the game. We'll enjoy the last little bit of cutscene here to go with it, and then we'll proceed from there. After the Shelob we're doing the dirty work for. The Wraiths are now taking their frustration out on Shelob. And Atario just went Giga Chad on them. And there we have it. That is Act 1. And that is the overall view of the speedrun for Act 1. If you have any questions, feel free to leave in the comments down below. And we'll go from there. Thanks to Gordo Games, and I hope you enjoyed it.